Welcome, guys. This is Southern Belle 74, and it's review time. We are reviewing episode 3 from VH1's Couples Retreat. Let's get into it. This episode is labeled Second First Dates. It begins with the couples sitting outside, and they have little cards that they have to read to each other and respond. And one of the questions is, what do you love about each other? So, each couple has to answer those questions. And then another question was, why did you choose me for your wife, or why did you choose me for your husband? I think and they're throughout the whole episode, they'll have them come out and sit down and face each other and ask these questions. And it's very interesting. All the couples, to me, at the heart of it, seem very loving. It's just getting over those small hurdles in their relationships. Okay, so we begin with Princess. She's doing her video confessional, and she's upset because remember at the last challenge, Ray J didn't even show up. She feels very disconnected. And then also Ray J comes in, he does his confessional, and he feels the same way. They're in a very sad place in their relationship, from what I gather. And then it picks up. Remember at the end of last episode, The Ring of Fire, it was the whole Yandy Mendeecees fallout. Well, it shows them the next day, and it begins with him apologizing. Mendeecees apologizes. He was like, I'm sorry. It was my intention to hurt you, but I had to be honest. He said he felt like whenever he got incarcerated that everything stopped for him, but everybody else on the outside world, their life continued. And then she said, well, did you have any idea of what I had to take on, becoming a single parent? I got depressed because I couldn't produce milk for one of the children, because I know one of them was like an infant. And she was saying that that caused her to have depression. And then she just said she felt at every teacher-parent conference, all the parents that were couples would come together, and she'd have to make up excuses. And the teachers would oftentimes ask her, hey, where's your husband? And she'd have to say, oh, he's at work. That's even something that they told the kids when they would go to visit him. Oh, you're going to visit your father at work. So could you imagine the stress and the weight of carrying that? So it was very telling. And then she also expressed to him that he said, I'm trying to do everything I can. I come back home. It's a pandemic going on. He was like, I'm trying to make everything up for lost time. And she was like, stop right there. Did you see what you just said? She brought to his attention, you wanted to make everything right and make up for lost time with the kids. But she was like, what about me? And it's almost like she's crying out to say, see me, see me, see me. I'm here. I know when he first came home, he was very appreciative for everything that she did. But I think she's hollering out to him, why can't you see everything I've done? And he's saying in the same breath, whenever I got incarcerated, you didn't see me. It's almost like it's another disconnect. It seemed like this episode showed a lot of disconnection between the couples. Okay. And so it moved on to Ryder. She met up with AJ. AJ was outside working out. And so she said, come on, join me. Let's work out and talk. And she asked Ryder, what is it that you want? And that's something that AJ constantly is asking the couples. What is it that you want? What do you want? And so Ryder was expressing to her that, she's been in a relationship for years now. And she's like, in the beginning, yes, I was okay to everything that he said. All his conditions I agreed to. But she admitted, she said, well, I was hoping over time that, he would stop wanting to bring the extra people into the bedroom and just focus on me. And so AJ had to correct her and let her know, hey, look, now in the beginning, you agreed to all these things. Now you've changed, but Michael hasn't changed. His outlook on the relationship hasn't changed. And he's saying, I want to be honest. I want to be, true to you. But if you can't accept my conditions, things may not work out. And so that's where they're at. So she left AJ left her with that question, are you willing? And this was something that was so good that she told her. She said, do you feel like taking care of yourself means sacrificing your relationship with Michael? And she admitted it, yes. And AJ was telling her that's not good. You should never have to neglect yourself over someone else, you know. Now, I'm telling you, that was powerful. That little session alone was a very powerful part of the episode. And then, so after that is over, the girls all meet up at the pool, and then the men meet up inside to have their meeting. So it's like a girls' meeting, and then, of course, it was a men's meeting. And so the ladies have drinks, and I think it was Yandy. Somebody had brought up um, in the beginning of the relationship, I guess Delicious had shared with someone that her and Raymond actually had a escapade in the back of a Gucci store. She was just saying how in the beginning of their marriage, everything was so spicy, and she's like, you know, the fire's fizzled out. It's not like that anymore. She was like, everything has become so mundane and routine in the household, and so she was expressing it to the lady. She's like, I want the Raymond that I met. You know, she expressed to the ladies like, once we got married, things changed. And I hear that a lot in marriages. You know, in the beginning, the guy pursues the woman and is romantic and all that good stuff. And then it's like once they get married, and then vice versa, the woman can be the same way. You know, before the woman could be, you know, she wears this sexy get up and, you know, she just keeps herself up. And then after they get married, then the woman just lets herself go. So it can go both ways. I don't always want to come across as one-sided. I always want to try to be as fair and balanced as I can in my opinion of these reviews. And so that was something that they discussed. Okay, so Mendices found a male coach to bond with the guys, and his name is Dr. K. And so he met with the guys, they had drinks, and then they talked. And he asked them each at the meeting, what is their love language? And so he asked Mendices first, and Mendices was saying, well, I know Yandy loves romance. She loves the candles, the nice dinners. And he admitted, he's like, I've been slacking off. I haven't been doing as much as I could. And then he moved on to Kirk. And Kirk was saying, well, he feels like he's so focused on business that he can't find that balance in between business. Because Dr. K asked him, when is the last time you and Rashida had like quality time? And so anytime you have to have that pause, that you know it's been too long. So he was saying, he admitted it. I could do better. And I really enjoy that part about the men. They were being very transparent and they were being very honest, and they all admitted they could be doing better. That when they got to Raymond, he talked about how he feels like Delicious is very, very sometimes she can be the alpha in the relationship versus him. She's more take charge than him. And he was saying, I guess it bothers him. It kind of makes him shut down when she kind of takes over and not allow him to be the man in the relationship. And so I thought it was very, like I said, once again, another transparent moment where he was saying, I'm telling you, I wish that the women could sit back and watch the men as they were going through their meeting, and then like after the meeting was over with the women, I wish the men could watch them so they could each see. And I guarantee you that there would be some aha moments for all of them, because I found every segment, oh my God, oh, I wish, it's kind of like you wish the women were there so they could see it. And you also wish that the men were there so they could see the women as they were having their discussion. It was very enlightening. And something else that was very, very eye-opening and revealing was Michael Blackson shared with Dr. K. He said, not having a father figure in the home also played a big part in how he saw love expressed. He was saying that, when things didn't work out with his mother and father, his mom packed up and left. And so he said, not having a positive example of love being shown, he doesn't know how to love in return. Oh, baby, that was so good. that was like, to me, that was a highlight of the whole episode, was him sharing that. And then at the end, AJ tasked them with re-planning their very first dates with each other. And it was so cute. It was so cute. And at the end of each of the dates, all of the couples ended up, they had a nice meal. Um, Yandy got the romance. I really couldn't. I really have to applaud the guys. They put a lot of effort into their planning. The settings were beautiful. A lot of roses, a lot of soft music, lights. It was beautiful. But what was so tickling at the end, all the other couples were like, "Oh, we're gonna close the door and enjoy the rest of our romantic night." And when it got to the part of Delicious and Raymond, bless their hearts, they called them and checked up on the kids and all that stuff. And then I know Delicious, she was so excited. She was like, "Okay, I'm waiting, because I know, when we close the door, it's gonna be romance going on." And how about Raymond, before it went off, he said, "I fell asleep." I guess before, because Delicious was in the bathroom and she was so excited. She was like, "Oh yes, it's gonna be, we're gonna have a night. The ending of the night is gonna be wonderful." And then, could you imagine when she walked out of the bathroom and she saw him in the bed asleep? It's like, are you kidding me? So that was real cute. Um, they definitely, all of them have work to do, but I do feel like in the end, I hope that all the couples remain together. That is my hope. But in relationships, you can never tell. I'm looking forward to the next episode. It looks really, really good.